Hey guys, it's another week with Cyber Talk with Bob and Chris, and this week we have a special guest from what is it, Kansas, Lance?
I am still from Kansas.
You're
I'll
still
be honest, I'm digging that piano in the background.
That's right. Right. I play that no problem.
looks like it's nice and sunny where he is.
I'll bang on those ivories, but it ain't gonna sound good.
Yeah, that's right.
It might be sunny here, but we've got weather coming in. I know you've got stuff happening out in Michigan too.
Oh, dude, don't even. Stupid snow in March.
I didn't get my snow shovel out this year. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Well, I went to an event yesterday. Well, yeah, well, like I said, I think we were talking before this. So I got more snow in the last like 8 days than I've gotten like 2 months. I went to an event yesterday, a cybersecurity event, and I'm lucky the snow came today and not yesterday because that drive would have been not a pleasant experience. It's just like 30. It's like 30 miles away, something like that.
Well, you had to go
But
drive your in-laws or something to the airport a couple weeks ago in some snow, didn't you?
that was last week. Yeah. And last Friday in the snow. Yeah, I'm having a blast the last 2 Fridays. This is
Well,
terrible.
anyway,
We
apparently
need to talk about
spring
something different.
apparently spring is coming, and I figured we'd remind everybody that this weekend is this Saturday is time to change your clocks ahead, so we lose an hour of sleep, and I guess it's time for spring cleaning. And spring cleaning comes down to digital stuff too, and luckily most of the equipment that we all have, the clocks automatically change. But I saw a post the other day. It was like somebody's like, how do I change the clock on my stove or my microwave? And
Dude, we have a Samsung stove, and trying to figure out the first time to reset that when we lost power. Like you have to hit a special you have to hit, I forgot what it is. It's like a combo button situation. You have to like hold it down to change the time. It's dumb.
Takes
It's
two
really
hands.
yeah, it's really dumb. It's like this should take me 2 seconds. The microwave takes less time. Actually, the microwave is even worse. You have to hit options and then go to like option 4, but you have to wait for it to scroll across to figure that out. Anyway, yeah. You bring
so
you give me flashbacks, dude. This is
there you go. So Lance, this is your first time here with us. Why don't you tell everybody where you are, what you do, and
So I'm Lance Keltner with UNI Computers. We're in Lawrence, Kansas, where it does not look like this picture right now. It is dreary and depressing. And I think I might actually be in Seattle. So just saying.
there you go.
But we're a managed service provider here in Lawrence, Kansas, serving this area and the Kansas City area. Kind of same stuff that Bob and Chris here do. Yeah, really glad to be here today. It's awesome.
Cool. Thanks.
What's your unique selling proposition into the marketplace? I'm just kidding. That's not what we're here for. I just wanted to ask him.
I mean, I can give it to you, but it's probably the same as yours.
Freeze them on the spot. Let's go.
That's right. That's right.
There we go.
Trial by fire, guys.
Well, anyway, so Chris, what are some things people should be doing? People always say, it's time to change our change the batteries in the smoke detectors when daylight savings comes.
I have a really good one for this. Pick a framework. And what I mean by that is look at your business. There's a bunch of cybersecurity frameworks out there. 2 of the big ones are going to be NIST or CIS. Pick it, work with your IT provider, work with your executives, and implement it. You don't have to get all the way to the end, but just start today. Pick a framework. CIS is a really good one to start with. NIST is going to be changed. They released a draft 2.0 in January, but pick one, work with them, and go through it. It's going to make your business more secure, and it's going to help you in the long run. So it doesn't even matter where you are today. It doesn't matter how small you are. It doesn't matter how large you are. If you don't have one today, just pick one.
Well, that's a lot heavier of a discussion than I was really thinking about, but thank you.
Well, hey, picking one is the easy part. I didn't say the implementing part was going to be easy, but picking one. But just think about that. Like, there's so many things to do in the spring, right? Like, we can look at a lot of things, but
right. But picking one is something that needs to happen. But a lot of people are like, well, I don't know which one to pick, and they start overthinking it, then they don't pick any. So,
yeah. You should talk to one of us for that. We're really good at helping you pick a framework.
Got the answers right here.
There you go. Yeah. No, seriously though, but like it's really important to pick one. just straight for your business. Like talk to your IT provider if you don't want to talk to one of us, but talk to them and ask them. And if they don't have a good answer for like what framework, you might want to think about finding something different, or finding a different company that can help you along that journey. Because it's really important that we start today, not tomorrow, not 6 months from now, today.
Yeah, we were talking last week about it wasn't online, but we were talking about actually having a cybersecurity company be separate from your IT services. Because
yeah, I'm starting to get more in line with especially bigger companies.
Because people people need to realize that people shouldn't be proofreading their own work, and when you start implementing this framework, you can actually have the make sure the IT company is doing what they should be doing. But anyway, what I really wanted to talk about, where I was going with this discussion when we started, was things that people can do today in their environments to really protect themselves, and things to think about when they change when the time does change. And I was going along the lines of making sure all your personal devices, all your stuff at home has been updated. There's been
I went way heavier than that.
Yeah.
You went way heavier than that. Yes.
Hey, the most important device you use every day is probably your phone. Start there. Make sure your phone's updated. Make sure that if you're using an iPhone, update your iPhone. If you're using Android, update Android. If your Android says that it can't be updated anymore, get a new Android.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Same thing with Apple. If you can't download the latest version of iOS, then it's time to upgrade.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I can't, Lance. What's the lifespan on Android? Is it 3 to 5 years? Is that
on what you buy? Like if you get the Google Pixel one, it's a little bit longer. You probably bank on 4 or 5. If it's Samsung, 3 is safe. But really, man, once a phone gets past 3 years, I guess for some people, like I've got some relatives that still have older phones, but they don't do very much. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Once it can't get the updates, it's out. You got to go. Well, it's time.
And I think that's where Apple shines a little bit more because they support it a little bit longer. But after 3 years, battery becomes more of a problem. But a battery swap's pretty easy for most phones. It's like $50 usually at a store, so it's not. Depends on how you use your phone. But yeah, you definitely want to make sure you get that updated.
So mine's a little lighter than Chris's. Mine's going to go strictly into password hygiene. One of the biggest things that we run into when we talk to people all the time is, hey, what's the password for this? So we can go do it. I don't know, right? So, or it's written down on a Post-it note or something like that. And everyone, as we all know, everyone uses variations on the last one when they have to change it. And the bad guys know all this stuff. They know how to get it all. If they get one, you get Target gets breached, they get your password from there. They know the iterations you're likely to use, and they just start blasting it everywhere to get lucky. And we have more client service compromises from that than anything else combined, by far. So what I would challenge people to do is, if you don't have a password manager, that needs to be on your list for this year to have, because it's unreasonable to expect anybody to remember complex passwords more than like 1 or 2. It's just not. It ain't gonna happen. So for the password manager, it solves that for you. You have your complex password there. You 2FA it to your phone and that kind of stuff, and then let it do the rest, because most of them now will even search the passwords to see when they've been shown up in compromises and help you change them. So it's not like you have to think about doing it. It'll yell at you and tell you to do it. Now you got to listen and you got to go do it. But it's also something that you don't have to do it all in a day. Get started. Spend 10 minutes a week. 5 minutes a day. Something. Not a lot of time. And before you know it, they'll all be cleaned up. They'll all be reset if they need to be. And then when new compromises come out, which it happens, you can't protect LinkedIn or Target. That's on them. But you still have an account there. Then you'll have like one compromise to deal with, not 50. It's like you change the one. The password manager helps you, and you're done. And there's lots of options for password managers. They're all pretty cheap. Some of them are free. And talk to your IT provider. They usually have something they can help you out with, or they'll at least have a couple of recommendations. Get something.
See, I don't like where you're going with this.
Sorry.
No. You're trying to help people in an incident like have less pain. Why are we doing that? More pain is better. If you use the same password on 75 sites and you have to go change your password on 75 sites because they got leaked, I mean, obviously that's what we want. I'm
Here,
kidding.
I'll take
sarcastic,
that. I'll
just
take
to
that
be-
all to the end, right there. They get fully compromised, they lose all the money, they go bankrupt, they can't pay for your services anyway. We
I
still lose.
I mean, who do they think they are? Silicon Valley Bank? Oh, that's on point right now. If you don't know what's going on in Silicon Valley, the bank. No, to Lance's point too. Please don't use the password manager built into the browser.
No, please.
By
don't.
the way,
even though it
it's
says
super-
it's encrypted, still don't use it.
Oh no, here's the fun part though. When you're logged in and it's open, it's really easy to get all those passwords.
Like the password manager can get it with one click. That's how easy it is to get it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Don't use
Lance, I don't know if you saw, but we talked about LastPass a couple weeks ago. Was it last week? So
I have a new client that's on that, and I'm getting that conversation ready.
Well,
now.
we talked about it from the standpoint of like, look, they're being transparent with what happened, and I think the problem with like a LastPass thing like that is it scares people away from password managers. Because if you start digging down that road with like, if you start reading social media posts and you start reading like comments, everybody's like, you should use this password manager, or why are you trusting password managers in the cloud? Like I've seen stuff on LinkedIn. It's like, well, first of all, individuals' accounts didn't get compromised. Did the vaults get taken? Sure, but there's iterations of their password that have already been done. If you're using a good passphrase and stuff like that, the chances of them getting access to that vault is pretty minimal.
Yeah.
Now, if you're using complete crappy
Stupid
passwords,
stuff.
I'm sure, right?
But it could have happened to anybody too.
It can literally happen,
and
that's what
Keeper,
our
it could have
point
been
was.
anyone, right?
Yeah, that's what our point was. It could happen to literally anybody. So I mean, and World Backup Day is coming in like 20 some days.
Yep.
So check your backups.
Check your backups. And don't
ask your IT provider for a report on the backups they do for you.
Also, back up your personal pictures, because I'll be honest, if you're a dude and you're married and you lose the pictures of your kids and your dog, and your wife is not going to be happy, or husband or whoever your significant other is, they will not be happy with you. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's a pro marriage tip.
There you go. I actually, yes, we did the iCloud backup for the family, so I could share that with the kids and my wife, and now it's just taken care of. And $10 a month, it really doesn't matter.
Also, on top of that, if people don't know this, if you use iCloud, it backs it up. But if you have OneDrive account or something like that, you can also back up all the pictures off your phone there. It's two separate locations. So if something happens to your iCloud for whatever reason, somebody deletes a picture or whatever, you can have it synchronized over into like OneDrive, which it works
Google
really
Drive,
well.
Whatever you got.
Yeah. Like I use OneDrive, but like specifically
Same.
Google Drive. Yeah. But it's awesome because now you just got it synchronized in two different spots.
Yep.
Especially if it's important stuff like for kids or special events or occasions or whatnot. So
I've got mine on a Synology. It backs up to my brother's Synology in a different city, and it also goes to OneDrive.
You have that exposed to the internet, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay. We're kidding. We're kidding.
No. Lance,
no firewall. Straight port forward.
DMZ that thing all day.
DMZ, it is wide open. Come on in.
You disabled your HTTPS too, right? For the login.
Mhm.
Made it really easy. Using default admin login.
Okay,
we're devolving here, guys. These are the things you shouldn't do.
This is going in the wrong direction, guys. It is daylight savings time, and what's been recommended here is update your devices, change your passwords, get a password manager, back up your data, and I'm going to throw in, make sure that you've got multi-factor authentication in. We say it all the time, but Lance said that use multi-factor authentication to get into your password manager. Absolutely. And then make sure that you also got multi-factor authentication onto the devices, the applications and services that you're logging into. In fact, the insurance companies are now requiring it. When the businesses have to fill out a cyber application, the very first question on most of the policies, one of the first 5 questions says, do you have multi-factor authentication everywhere? And if you
on that note, I just did one for a client yesterday. He's like, can you double check this that I'm filling out? And finally, this particular one, which is a well-known cybersecurity policy company that does policies, Now they didn't used to have most of the email security vendors. They would have like 2 of them.
Mhm.
They've
Yep.
got all the big dogs now, including the ones that we use and the ones that we have used. And it's like, hey, you're getting updated. So yeah, I think they're also starting to see more of what's out there and enabling that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think there was 5 MFA questions on that deal.
Well,
Well, we could-
Travelers is in court for $1 million claim right now because of it.
Well, I think this is a good topic for next week too. I don't know if we want to kind of pick up there, because I could talk. We're going through one with a company that's over 50 million, and the requirements for them versus under is insane.
Cool.
I think going through that. I think going through that is just a general guideline might be a good idea. Maybe we could flip that up there and show it. But we just had the same conversation, but this is different. We have to implement a lot more controls, so
Cool.
a lot more security controls for them.
Well, we're at 15 minutes now, so let's.
Yeah, people
let's
are
wrap-
hanging out. They're
Let's
going to
let's
watch
wrap-
this on 2X and they'll see it.
Let's wrap this up. Wrap this up for now. We'll pick up multi-factor authentication next week and get your snow shovel out, dude.
Or
It's a
just come
wet
to Kansas
snow.
where
It's
not
a
snowing.
wet snow. My snowblower doesn't work. I probably will have to shovel it. But pick a framework for your business. Just do it. Or send me a DM on LinkedIn or Bob, or find Lance on LinkedIn. Send us a DM. Say,
And
what's a framework?
If you don't know what a framework is, you comment below, and we'll reach out and figure it out together.
Oh,
Have a great day.
and I'll leave you with this before you end this. If you have a cybersecurity conference that's in your neighborhood and you're in a business, just go to it, especially the free ones. Just sign up and go to it. Because even though you're not in the cybersecurity industry, the things you'll learn. I met a great guy yesterday. He was a VP of operations for a company, and he goes to all of them. And I gave him the biggest kudos for that, because
Yeah.
he's trying to see what's out there and trying to see the risk to the business. Even though he's not the business owner, he's really concerned about the business. And it was awesome talking to him. I talked to him for probably about 2 hours out of the day in between stuff. So check it out. Check out your local cybersecurity conferences. They're really good for everybody.
Thank you, Chris and Lance.
See you
Thanks for
next
joining us this week.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
catch
He's
you
never coming back, by the way. Just kidding.
Get me out of here.